The usually stern federal district courtroom 7 was unusually tense on April 1st. Judge Wilkins, known for his tough sentencing, surprised everyone by calling for a new approach to justice. The defendant, 28-year-old Marcus Green, stood shaking as the verdict was read. A former tech prodigy turned convicted hacker, Green had stolen $2.3 million in cryptocurrency. His elite lawyers prepared for the worst, minimum 15 years under sentencing guidelines. But the judge saw something others missed. "I see a brilliant mind wasted," Judge Wilkins declared, reading from prepared remarks. "Our prisons are full of people we failed twice, first by society, then by the system." The prosecution team exchanged stunned glances. ADA Samantha Cruz objected violently. "This sets a dangerous precedent. Next they'll be asking to rehab murderers." The judge calmly responded, "Then bring me that case too." Green collapsed to his knees sobbing. "I don't deserve this," as his mother wept in the gallery. Court artists captured the emotional moment, now shared millions of times. In a post-trial interview, Wilkins revealed his own brother was incarcerated at 19 and never recovered. "Prison breaks people. I had to try something different." 67% of the hacked investors signed a mercy petition after Green personally apologized and explained his gambling addiction. "The money's returned. Why ruin another life?" said one victim. **9. Legal community divided **. Harvard law professor L. Chun called it the most progressive ruling since Miranda, while former NYC prosecutor M. Donovan tweeted, "This is why crime pays in America." Within hours, #Wilkins decision trended worldwide. CNN's legal analyst called it either the dumbest or bravest ruling of the decade, while Fox News ran Sharon's reading soft on crime. The courtroom sketch of Green's emotional breakdown became the most shared image on Twitter that week. Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre gave a carefully worded response. "While we don't comment on specific cases, the president believes in smart justice reforms." Conservatives immediately pounced, with Senator Tom Cotton calling it woke jurisprudence gone mad. Judge Wilkins' 98-year-old mother gave an impromptu press conference from her porch. "My Robbie always rooted for the underdog." The viral clip garnered 12 million views, humanizing the controversial jurist. The Marshall Project published data showing rehabilitation programs reduce recidivism by 43%. "This should be standard for nonviolent offenders," said Director Neil Barsky, while victims' rights groups warned about unintended consequences. Bitcoin forums exploded with debate. Some called Green the luckiest thief alive, while others respected his technical skills. Interestingly, several blockchain firms offered him jobs contingent on completing his rehabilitation. Dr. Phil dedicated an entire episode to When Mercy Triumphs, featuring Green's childhood friends and former teachers. The most shocking reveal? His high school computer science teacher had warned administrators about Green's ethical blind spots years before the crimes. The court-approved monitoring device uses revolutionary AI that can detect hacking attempts in real time. The manufacturer, Second Chance Tech, saw its stock rise 18% after the ruling. Using skills honed in prison coding programs, Green developed a refund algorithm that not only returned the stolen $2.3 million, but generated 20% returns through ethical crypto arbitrage. Some victims actually made money in the end. At a Bronx youth center, Green's raw honesty stunned attendees. "I thought I was smarter than the system. I was wrong." The Q&A session ran 2 hours over time, with teens asking everything from coding tips to how to beat ankle monitors. He refused to answer that one. Harvard Law Review published 3 competing analyses within weeks. The most cited argued Wilkins used an obscure judicial conscience precedent from 1892, while others claimed he essentially created new common law. Investigative journalists uncovered Wilkins' teenage years as a jazz pianist and his unpublished thesis on restorative justice in Talmudic law. This fueled theories about his unconventional approach. His recovering addict sister gave a tearful interview. "Marcus was always the smartest in the room. That was his curse." Their estranged father, serving time for fraud, sent a handwritten note saying simply, "Don't end up like me." The ankle monitor's positive reinforcement feature surprised everyone. It played Green's favorite jazz song, when he completed daily rehabilitation goals. Psychologists praised this behavioral innovation. NYPD's cybercrime unit quietly endorsed the approach. "We're tired of arresting the same hackers every 5 years," said one detective anonymously. Maybe this breaks the cycle. When probation officers arrived unannounced at Green's tiny Brooklyn apartment, they found him debugging the anti-hacking software ahead of schedule. His fridge contained only meal-prepped salads and vitamin water, a far cry from his partying past. Green's court-mandated therapist revealed, with permission, his key realization: "I didn't want money. I wanted to prove I was smarter than the system that failed my family." This became a cornerstone of his mentoring talk. Tech leaders were divided. Musk tweeted, "All hackers should get this chance," while Zuckerberg warned about dangerous precedents. Ironically, Meta later offered Green a cybersecurity consultant position. MIT researchers proved the standard sentencing software would have recommended 11.5 years for Green's crimes. Their damning conclusion: the algorithm punishes poverty and rewards privilege. In a stunning development, 3 of Green's victims volunteered to help with his youth program. "If he can change, anyone can," said retired teacher Eleanor Chong, who lost $87,000 in the hack. The National Judges Association passed a resolution condemning freelance jurisprudence, while progressive judges began quietly implementing similar rehabilitation clauses, especially in opioid-related cases. When Green briefly accessed a restricted programming forum for research, the Monitor alerted authorities. Judge Wilkins' response: "Progress isn't linear," and added 100 community service hours. Netflix acquired rights to Green's story, with Ava DuVernay attached to direct. The twist? Green insisted victims get 30% of profits, incorporated into his restitution plan. Interpol, the FBI, and 3 Fortune 500 companies courted Green as a white-hat hacker. His probation terms required Judge Wilkins to approve any employment, leading to unprecedented oversight. Green's sentence required him to complete a Columbia University ethics course. Professor L. Chun reported he was the most prepared student in years, though Green sat in the back row, ankle monitor visible. In a carefully supervised visit, Green's incarcerated father wept while holding printouts of his son's coding certifications. Prison officials noted it was the first time the elder Green had shown remorse in 14 years. Venture capitalists poured $200 million into rehabilitation tech startups following the case. The Wilkins effect became industry shorthand for justice-focused innovation. On April 1, 2026, Green returned to court, this time to demonstrate his anti-hacking software. It had already prevented $47 million in cryptocurrency thefts. Even the original prosecutor applauded. Progressive DA candidates nationwide ran on Wilkins model platforms, while attack ads showed shadowy figures hacking voting machines with the tagline, "Is this really justice?" Brain scans revealed Green's frontal lobe activity patterns matched other genius-level risk-takers. His treatment plan was adjusted accordingly, incorporating extreme sports therapy. Green's memoir, Code Redemption, sparked bidding wars, with the advance going directly to victims. The judge wrote the foreword, noting, "Mercy isn't weakness. It's the hardest form of justice." The UN invited Judge Wilkins to advise on global sentencing reforms. Critics noted the irony of America, with its massive prison population, suddenly becoming a rehabilitation model. Green's software stopped a major bank heist in progress. The would-be hackers, ironically, were former classmates. "I used to admire them," Green told reporters. "Now I pity them." When Green was spotted with ADA Cruz's niece, a public defender, Twitter exploded. Both parties confirmed only that they'd met through shared reform work. Wilkins required temporary security detail after alt-right forums doxed him. His response: "If they put this much energy into helping people, we wouldn't need so many prisons." 45. The Scholarship Fund Fondstipping. Using documentary profits, Green established scholarships for at-risk coders. The catch? Recipients must mentor others, creating a pay-it-forward chain. After just 18 months, probation officers recommended early release. Green refused, insisting on completing his full program. "I owe the victims that much," he told a stunned courtroom. 47. The White Hat Certification ***. Green became the first convict to earn EC Council's elite certification. The proctor noted he solved advanced penetration tests faster than any candidate in history. When Wilkins testified before the Senate Judiciary Committee, footage of Green's rehabilitation progress silenced critics. Even tough-on-crime senators admitted the results were impressive. 49. The AI monitoring upgrade Zvuzdik obnovlenie. Green helped develop the next-gen ankle monitor that uses machine learning to predict relapse risks. The patent lists him as co-inventor, with royalties going to victims. In 2027, President Harris granted Green a full pardon. In a ceremony at the White House, she quipped, "Next time, just apply for a cybersecurity job first." 51. The full circle moment moment polnova krva. Green returned to the scene of his crime, the crypto exchange he hacked, this time as chief security officer. The board approved his hiring unanimously. Judge Wilkins' rehabilitation matrix became standard in 11 federal districts. His law clerks reported an avalanche of applications from idealistic young lawyers. While national rates held steady at 60%, not one of Wilkins' 23 rehabilitation sentence defendants reoffended. The sample size is small but significant, noted Pew Research. When DuVernay's documentary premiered at Sundance, Green and his original victims walked the red carpet together. The standing ovation lasted 9 minutes. Green donated 92% of his tech salary to prison education programs. "Money was never my motivation," he told Forbes. Validation was. After serving 17 years, Green's father was paroled to his son's custody. Their first project together? Teaching coding at a juvenile detention center. Legal scholars predicted Wilkins could be a future SCOTUS nominee. His famous quote, "Mercy and justice are two sides of the same coin," appeared on law school murals nationwide. When the original prosecutor joined Green's nonprofit board, even cynical court reporters admitted, this changed everything. By 2028, 34% of nonviolent federal sentences included rehabilitation matrices. The federal prison population dropped for the first time in 40 years. Within months of Wilkins' ruling, 17 state judges began implementing similar rehabilitation clauses, particularly for first-time nonviolent offenders. The National Center for State Courts reported a 22% drop in sentencing hearings as prosecutors started diverting cases to new tech redemption programs. Due to Green's savvy crypto investments, victims ultimately received 143% of their stolen amounts. Retired nurse Margaret Voigt, who lost $31,000 initially, received $44,330, enough to fund her granddaughter's college tuition. "This healed something money can't measure," she told NPR. Judge Wilkins launched intensive workshops teaching his rehabilitation matrix approach. The most poignant moment? When 72 conservative judges stood applauding after a formerly incarcerated teen demonstrated the app he'd created during probation. Pentagon officials recruited Green to help reform their cybersecurity protocols after discovering 18% of court-martialed hackers showed similar psychological profiles. The pilot program reduced cyber incidents by 61% in its first year. During a prison coding workshop, Green recognized his estranged uncle, serving 25 years for armed robbery. Their emotional reconciliation, captured on a guard's body cam, went viral and inspired new family-focused rehabilitation policies. Neuroscientists discovered Green's frontal lobe activity normalized after 18 months of structured rehabilitation. Published in Nature, the study prompted 29 states to mandate cognitive behavioral therapy for nonviolent offenders. Google, Apple, and Microsoft jointly funded the Wilkins Initiative, offering six-figure salaries to reformed hackers who complete probation. Their retention rates? 92% versus the industry's 68% average. Bipartisan lawmakers introduced the Second Chance Coding Act, allocating $2.3 billion, ironically matching Green's theft amount, to expand tech rehabilitation programs. The bill passed with rare 89-11 Senate support. MIT awarded Green its Disobedience Award for ethically challenging broken systems. His acceptance speech, delivered remotely via ankle monitor-approved laptop, received a standing ovation. After DuVernay's film streamed, Applications to coding boot camps from marginalized communities spiked 400%. Most remarkably, 37% came from families with incarcerated members. Asterisk asterisk 73. The recidivism statistics that stunned experts asterisk asterisk. 5 years post-ruling, only 2.1% of Wilkins sentenced individuals re-offended versus 43% nationally. These aren't numbers, they're human trajectories, the judge remarked during his TED Talk. When Gucci debuted its Justice Reform Collection, featuring ankle monitor-inspired accessories, Green partnered to create limited edition wearables that actually taught coding basics. Profits funded prison libraries. Asterisk asterisk 75. The Presidential Medal asterisk asterisk. Presidentskaya Medar. In 2030, Green received the Medal of Technology from President Harris, the same day his father voted for the first time. The Oval Office photo of 3 generations of Green men broke the internet. NBA teams began using Wilkins' rehabilitation matrix for player development programs. Talent deserves structure, not just punishment, said Commissioner Adam Silver, citing Green's case. West Point integrated Green's anti-hacking curriculum after tests showed cadets who completed it were 83% less likely to commit honor code violations. The program's motto? Ethical dominance. Judge Wilkins became the first jurist nominated for the Peace Prize in 42 years. His 12-word response? Justice that doesn't heal isn't justice. It's just delayed revenge. Green's monitoring software evolved into Guardian AI, now used in 14 countries to predict relapse risks, match skills to jobs handshake, provide real-time counseling speaking head that reducing prison populations by 18% were implemented. Annual Code for Justice events hosted by reformed hackers now feature Mark Zuckerberg debugging alongside parolees, AOC writing encryption algorithms, 12-year-olds outsmarting former bank robbers, ticket sales fund victim restitution programs. Green's team developed an assessment tool that identifies Blue Circle 89% of hackers needing intervention, Yellow Circle 76% of potential white-collar criminals, Red Circle 94% of redeemable violent offenders that used in 33 states pretrial services. After Exxon adopted Wilkins-style restorative probation for environmental violations, their cleanup efficiency improved 300%. Now 47% of Fortune 500 companies use similar models. Digital ethics and second chances became required in 11,000 high schools. Students role-play as judges, hackers, and victims, with real cases provided by Guardian AI, names redacted. When the original prosecutor who demanded 15 years joined Green's nonprofit board, Wilkins simply smiled. The system healed itself. The photo of their handshake became the new symbol of restorative justice worldwide.